Before we start, just to be clear, this video is sponsored by 70mi. But this isn't just a glossy promo. I'm not simply reading features off the box. What you're about to see today is a proper real-world test. And depending which dashcam you're currently relying on, it might make for uncomfortable viewing. Because every one of these moments feels ordinary when it happens. Nothing dramatic, no chaos, just the kind of situation where a few weeks later, somebody confidently says, "That wasn't my fault." In the UK, insurance disputes and staged accidents are becoming more and more common. And when they happen, nobody really cares about what you remember happening. They care about what the camera can prove. So today I want to find out whether your dashcam actually captures the things that matter, or it just captures motion and leaves a lot of awkward questions unanswered. Most people imagine insurance fraud as something dramatic, big crashes, obvious scams. But in reality, it isn't like that. Most disputes are a bit dull, they're a bit slow and entirely built on doubt.
Figures obtained by the BBC show that so-called cash for crash frauds, where a bogus road accident is used as a basis for a costly insurance claim, are being used in more and more parts of the UK.
Somebody brakes a little bit harder than you expected, or somebody just pulls out of a junction, or somebody changes lane and they swear they indicated when in reality they didn't. And here's the thing that really matters. Insurance companies don't need to believe someone's lying, they just need to be unsure.
A couple of days later, I get a phone call from my insurance company going, we've got a problem in that your statement is being disputed. The other driver's insurance company felt that it's a rear end shunt, and therefore 100% liability is with me. Fortunately, I was able to say that I had the dashcam footage. As soon as my insurance company saw the footage, they were 100%, yes, we'll fight this.
The moment fault isn't absolutely crystal clear, the conversation changes. It stops being about who's right and starts being about how quickly and cheaply the situation can be resolved. That's when claims get split and people's premiums go up. And that's when people lose out, even if they did nothing wrong. You see, dashcams are supposed to remove that doubt, but insurance companies don't care that you have the footage. What's important is that that footage can be paused and zoomed in on without losing complete clarity. That footage is going to be paused, slowed down, zoomed in on, so it has to survive that. And that's why a lot of dashcams quietly let people down. They're just not good enough. Now, before you say anything, this isn't a resolution beauty contest. It isn't about how impressive something can look on YouTube. Because both cameras used today shoot in 4K. One of them is the 70mi T800, and the other one is a very typical dashcam that most people buy because it's affordable and it ticks a lot of boxes. This video isn't about bullying a cheaper camera, it's about outcomes. Because from an insurer's point of view, there's no such thing as, well, it was nearly clear enough, it's nearly visible. That doesn't cut it. Either the footage proves something, or it doesn't. Jesus. You need these cameras today, People are maniacs. The T800 is a 3-channel dashcam, so it records what's happening in front, behind, and inside the cabin at the same time. And this matters because disputes are rarely caused by one dramatic moment. Instead, they're caused by context. What led to that point? What happened around it? And how everyone involved behaved both before and after. The front and rear cameras both use a Sony Starvis 2 sensor, which is designed to deal with high contrast and low light. On top of that, 70mi uses its own image processing, prioritising clarity in the day and reducing glare at night. That of course keeps parked footage very usable even in low light. That's the theory anyway, so let's see if it works when things start to get a little bit awkward. One thing you really need to get right is the angle of the camera. If it's too high or too low, then it's completely useless. There's no point having a dashcam if the angle's that bad that it's pointing at your dashboard, or if the windscreen's filthy and you can barely see through it. If you get those two things wrong, then it really doesn't matter how good the camera is. Insurance companies don't enhance the footage, they don't guess, they simply work on what they've got there in front of them. With clean glass and sensible angles, we can move on. That's the first thing you need to bear in mind. So today then we're going to run 5 tests, and each test should answer a specific insurer question. Test number 1 then is to test for crash for cash. And the objective here is quite simple. Can the footage prove intent? Because it simply isn't good enough to show that the other car has stopped. You need to show why they stopped, what kind of gap they left, what the situation was like. This is the exact moment an insurer freezes. This is where a lot of dashcam footage quietly lets people down. You can see a car stop, but you can't really tell why. The plate softens, the distance feels vague, and the road ahead doesn't tell you a story. Here, the plate holds together, the gap's clear, and the road ahead makes sense. That difference might feel small, but to an insurer, it's everything. Because once intent becomes visible, the entire claim starts to fall apart. Test number 2 is built-up roads, and the question here is, who moved first? This is where loads of innocent drivers lose claims without realising why. This kind of incident happens slowly, which makes it a lot harder, not easier. On weaker footage, the timing blurs, and it's hard to distinguish who was at fault. The moment of commitment then just isn't clear, and everyone looks like they're doing everything all at once. Here you can see the order of events, who commits, who reacts, and when. That's the difference between an argument and a timeline, and insurers don't resolve arguments, they resolve timelines. Test number 3 then is nighttime driving, and the question here is whether or not the footage is usable when it's dark and there's no light at all. You see, nighttime driving is when most dashcams stop making excuses. Most of them just aren't as good as they are during the day. On a lot of footage, this looks fine while it's moving, but the second you pause it, highlights blow out, shadows swallow detail, and movement turns into guesswork. Here though, positions remain readable, and movement still makes sense. It doesn't turn night into day, it just keeps it usable, and that's all insurers care about. Test 4 is motorway driving, and here is all about identity. At speed, uncertainty becomes very expensive very quickly. On weaker footage, you can see motion, but certainty disappears. You know something happened, but you just can't confidently say who caused it. Here though, lane position and number plate stay readable long enough to matter. And that's the difference between speculation and certainty. Final test then is parking mode, and this is the most depressing type of insurance claim. You know how it is, you park the car, you go about your business, then when you get back, you discover somebody's had a disagreement with your bumper. There's nothing more frustrating than that because you weren't even there, so you can't possibly explain what happened. On many dashcams you'll see movement, but not enough context. You know something happened, you just don't know what. Here though, movement, direction and context are clear enough to be actually useful, and that's the difference between frustration and resolution. Most dashcams are bought on hope. Hope they'll work, hope the footage is clear enough, hope that if somebody lies, the camera will sort it out. The difference here though isn't that the 70mm T800 records video, it's that the footage remains useful, even when things get a bit awkward. You see, dashcams aren't just decoration, they're witnesses. And when blame starts shifting, you need a witness that can withstand some scrutiny. If you want to take a closer look at the 70mm T800, I'll leave the link below in the video description. And let me know in the comments below, have you ever had a dashcam? Has it saved you when you've had an accident and the insurance company wants to know? Let me know below. The thing you've got to remember though is when something goes wrong on the road, the camera either tells the truth or it doesn't. So thank you once again for watching. Make sure you give the video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it or found it helpful. Make sure you subscribe if you haven't done already. You can follow me on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter and TikTok. I'll leave the links below. And yeah, check out 70mm. Cheers guys, see you next time.